What would you do if you faced an impossible challenge? A problem so massive that everyone around you said there's no solution. A giant so intimidating that trained warriors ran away in fear. Today, I'm telling you about a shepherd boy, a giant, and the moment that proves size doesn't matter when faith is present.
If you're looking for powerful biblical stories that inspire courage and strengthen your faith, don't forget to subscribe to Sacred Pages of Faith and hit the notification bell.
This incredible story is found in 1 Samuel 17. If you want to read it in full, I highly recommend it. But now, let me tell you this story in a way that will ignite something powerful inside you. Picture this: two armies facing each other across a valley. On one side, the Israelites, God's chosen people, on the other, the Philistines, their enemies. But this wasn't going to be a normal battle. Every morning for 40 days, something terrifying happened. A giant stepped forward from the Philistine ranks. His name was Goliath. He stood over 9 feet tall, taller than any man alive. His armor weighed 105 pounds. The head of his spear alone weighed 15 pounds. Someone had to carry his shield because it was too massive for him to hold. Every morning Goliath shouted, "Send me your best warrior! If he kills me, we'll be your servants! But when I kill him, you'll serve us!" The Israelite soldiers ran away in terror. King Saul, who was supposedly the greatest warrior in Israel, stayed in his tent. The trained soldiers, men who had fought countless battles, trembled with fear. For 40 days, not a single person had the courage to face Goliath. Now enter David, that teenager, a shepherd boy. He wasn't even a soldier. He was simply delivering food to his older brothers who were in the army. When David heard Goliath's challenge, he asked a simple but powerful question: who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he should defy the armies of the living God? Notice what David saw that no one else saw. While everyone looked at Goliath's size, David looked at his standing before God. While everyone focused on the giant's armor, David focused on the fact that this giant was mocking the God of Israel. David's brothers mocked him, "Go back to your sheep!" But David persisted. He went to King Saul and said, "Let no one lose heart. I will fight this Philistine." Saul looked at this teenager and said what seemed obvious: "You can't fight him. You're just a boy." Then David told his story: "When watching my father's sheep, a lion took a lamb. I went after it and killed it. I did the same to a bear. The Lord who delivered me from the lion and bear will deliver me from this Philistine." Saul tried to give David his armor, the king's own armor, but when David put it on, he couldn't even walk. He wasn't used to it, so David took it all off. Instead, he picked up his shepherd's staff, went to a stream and selected 5 smooth stones. He put them in his bag, took his sling, and walked toward the giant. When Goliath saw David, he was insulted. "Am I a dog that you come at me with sticks?" But David shouted back with words that still echo through history: "You come against me with sword and spear, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of Israel. This day the Lord will deliver you into my hands." Goliath started walking toward David, his massive frame getting closer. Then David ran not away toward Goliath. As he ran, David reached into his bag, took out a stone, placed it in his sling, and with incredible precision released it. The stone flew through the air and struck Goliath in the only unprotected spot. His forehead, it sank into his skull, and the giant collapsed face first onto the ground. The impossible had happened. The giant was defeated not by superior weapons, not by greater size, not by military strategy, but by faith in a God who is greater than any giant. When the Philistines saw their champion was dead, they fled in terror. The Israelites, who had been paralyzed by fear moments before, now charged forward in victory. So here's the question: what's your Goliath today? What giant are you facing that seems impossible to defeat? Is it a financial crisis that seems insurmountable? A health diagnosis that terrifies you? A broken relationship? A dream everyone says is too big for someone like you? The lesson isn't that giants don't exist. The lesson is that when your faith is in God rather than your own strength, the size of the giant becomes irrelevant. David didn't win because he was strong. He won because he knew who he was fighting for. Stop looking at how big your giant is. Start looking at how big your God is. If this story inspired you, share it with someone facing their own giant. And subscribe to Sacred Pages of Faith for more stories that will strengthen your faith for God.